A simple sentence from Jimin managed to shake Jungkook's heart to the point where he could no longer hold back the outpouring of his emotions. How could just one short statement trigger such a strong reaction from the Golden Magne? This is the very question that now fuels the public's curiosity, especially BTS fans who are already familiar with the emotional dynamics among the members. However, this moment feels different, more intense, more honest, and full of personal meaning. The fact that one sentence from Jimin could penetrate Jungkook's emotional defenses shows how deep the bond is between these two members. Jimin is known for his warm, supportive, and empathetic communication style. Meanwhile, Jungkook, although often appearing strong and perfectionist, harbors a fragile side that only occasionally appears in front of those closest to him. The meeting of these two characters within the context of one simple statement has produced a moving moment, as if opening the deepest layers of their emotional relationship. The big question that then arises is, what kind of sentence could create such a dramatic effect? In the tradition of communication between BTS members, every expression often arises from shared experiences, whether fatigue, struggle, or success. Jimin, with his reputation as a member sensitive to others' feelings, seemed to capture something Jungkook was going through. And when that sentence was spoken, the public not only witnessed a spontaneous reaction, but also a silent acknowledgement that Jungkook could no longer contain his emotional turmoil. Jungkook's emotional reaction was not merely a fleeting expression. Behind the tears, the bitter smile, or the drastically changing gaze, there was strong evidence that Jimin's statement touched the most personal point within him. For fans, this moment was considered a representation of emotional honesty rarely displayed in public. For pop culture observers, this phenomenon underlines the importance of interpersonal communication within a music group that has faced global pressure for more than a decade. From a psychological perspective, the sentence uttered by Jimin can be understood as a form of emotional validation. This validation is the acknowledgement of someone's feelings, which makes that person feel understood and accepted. It is no surprise that Jungkook, who often bears the heavy burden of expectations as an idol, finally melted when he received sincere acknowledgement from the one who knows him best. That moment seemed to become a safe space, where he was allowed to let go of the self-defenses that are usually so strong. From a sociological point of view, this event also affirms how BTS is not only seen as a music group, but also as a social entity that influences how society views friendship, support, and emotional expression. Jimin's sentence not only impacted Jungkook, but also created emotional resonance among the fans who witnessed it. Thousands of comments across digital platforms marked how powerful the effect of one moment was. So, what are the implications for BTS's overall image? In fact, moments like this strengthen the narrative that BTS is not merely a global icon with monumental achievements, but also ordinary humans struggling with their vulnerabilities. The emotional honesty displayed by Jungkook after hearing Jimin's sentence serves as a reminder that behind the grand stage, the camera flashes, and the applause of fans, there is a human side that cannot be hidden. That moment is now recorded as one of the most memorable emotional events in BTS's journey. One sentence, simple yet full of meaning, managed to unveil the intimacy of inter-member relations that are rarely revealed. From Jimin's side, the sentence reflected extraordinary sensitivity toward his teammates' condition. From Jungkook's side, his emotional response was a reflection of sincerity, an acknowledgement that he too has limits, exhaustion, and the need to be understood. It is not an exaggeration to say that this incident is a reflection of the power of interpersonal communication in maintaining the cohesion of a large group. BTS, who have faced pressures from the industry, public demands, and global expectations, can still show the most human side of themselves. And all of this began with one sentence from Jimin, which then made Jungkook no longer able to hold back his emotions. In the end, the public was not only presented with an emotional event between two BTS members, but also with an important lesson that words have the power to change the atmosphere, to open old wounds, and at the same time to provide the most sincere comfort. That is why one sentence from Jimin is now recorded as the trigger of a moment that will continue to be remembered, not only by Jungkook, but also by millions of fans around the world. The publication of this moment not only enriches the narrative about the closeness between BTS members, but also sparks a wider discussion about the meaning of communication in a group living under global spotlight. Many fans believe that Jimin, with that one sentence, played an important role as Jungkook's emotional guardian. The sentence may sound simple, yet its resonance was so deep that it penetrated the maknae's defenses. This phenomenon reveals another dimension of BTS as a music group. They are not just co-workers, but a family that supports each other even under pressure. The incident showed how words can become both a unifying force and a healing tool. For Jungkook, Jimin's sentence seemed to remind him that he is not alone in facing the great challenges that often strike both his career and personal life. Culturally, this moment also reflects the typical values of South Korea, which often emphasize togetherness, emotional support, and solidarity within a community. BTS, as a global representation of Korean popular culture, indirectly demonstrated the real practice of those values through their personal interactions. Jimin's one sentence became a symbol of solidarity that went beyond mere professional relationships. It was a reminder of the importance of caring for one another in maintaining group harmony. Jungkook's emotional response then triggered a domino effect. Not only ARMY, the name for BTS fans, were moved, but also the general public, who highlighted how emotional transparency can build public trust. In the entertainment world, which is often full of fabricated images, the authenticity of this moment added to BTS's legitimacy as an authentic group. That authenticity has long been the strong foundation for maintaining their popularity at the international level. This event also sparked academic discussion about how micro-communication, namely short statements between individuals, can have a macro impact on the public image of a group. Jimin may not have intended to create a big moment, but his sentence is now analyzed, discussed, and even rewritten by media worldwide. This proves that the power of language does not lie merely in the length of a statement, but in the emotional context and trust that accompanies it. For Jungkook, that moment also became a reminder of his vulnerability as an ordinary human being behind his status as a global superstar. He showed that there is nothing wrong with revealing one's fragile side. In fact, that is where true strength lies. By crying, by allowing his emotions to flow, Jungkook indirectly taught his fans that vulnerability is not weakness, but a form of courage. Meanwhile, for Jimin, that one sentence has cemented his reputation as a member who is sensitive, warm, and capable of providing a sense of safety to his teammates.